Okay, well, there we go. Good morning. Good morning. This is Department of Career Services on Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024, the third day of the year. We're going to start making things happen this year. This is going to be the year. This is going to be the year to turn it around, to make it happen, to do the things that we think about doing. Here at Department of Career Services, we are here to help you. We're here to help you on your journey through life. Part of which is to get that we don't get it, that whatever plan you're working on is not working. And so now it's time to have a different plan. Have a different plan, a better plan. A plan that when you hit your bed, your pillow, your head hits the pillow at night, you feel like you accomplished something, even if it's just starting the thing. So we're here to help you do that. We do that through the worksheets that are linked down below, not through me. My part is just part of the routine, getting you to do the daily routine, to create a habit, to keep coming back, to keep doing it. That's it. Mine is just the motivator type role, not the instructor, just the one that says, come on, you got to get up and do this. You got to do this. It's important. Every day, do it, do it, do it. And I'm out here doing it with you. So I'm not just talking the talk, I'm walking the walk. All right, well, we're 2 minutes in. And on this podcast, or the morning routine is a two-part morning routine. On the podcast and then after the podcast. On the podcast, we have two things that we do. We have a breathing exercise and we plan for today. After the podcast, there are three things to do. One is a simple attitude of gratitude exercise, review the day before exercise, an examination of how you did yesterday, what you can learn from it, and then to project the day and then go live it. So that's it. Overall, what do we do at Department of Career Services? What do we do at Thriving Warrior? How do we help people move forward? Well, we break it down into a 4-part transformational program where you have to focus on your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual life. All 4 of those things. So it's like a table that you have to have 4 solid legs upon which to rest the accomplishments, the achievements of your life on that table. And if you have one bad leg, you won't be able to put a lot of weight over in that area because everything will slide off. Of course, if you have 2 legs, the table won't stand. Boom. You'll keep propping it up, it'll keep falling. You'll spend a lot of time picking things up, the accomplishments, going back, starting over, putting them back on there. It's really a very good metaphor to use for life. 4 parts. We also use a metaphor of a boat that has 4 critical parts. The sails, because you don't have an engine, the sails, the rudder system, below deck, and the hull of the ship. And if those things are not working, if you've got a problem with them, you will not go forward. And on that metaphor, we talk about we're here to help you build the boat and crew the boat, get your crew, and then keep focused on the journey. We do that through our 4-week neuroscience-oriented approach to success, jam-packed with words, not a lot of non-words in it. And now, this year, we're really focused on the Darren Hardy Best Year Ever journal, which we hope to add into the jails. Okay, so that's what we got going. We're here at 4:45 in. Let's start our breathing exercise instructions down below. And we will start with an exhale on 3, 2, 1. So that is Professor Andrew Huberman. 2 inhale, 1 exhale approach, get our lungs filled as much as we can. And I can tell you, since I've been doing the Peloton every morning and night, I have much more lung capacity, more ability to expand my rib cage and my stomach. But anyway, that's about me. This isn't about me. It's about you. It's about getting you to where you want to be this year. And so now we'll go to part 2, plan for today. Quick little note, the theme for today is Steve Jobs' management style. Get to that in a second. But you want to get from point A to point B. It's simple. 3, 4 things. 1, say to yourself as not as an affirmation, but as an incantation, as Tony Robbins would say. Something great is going to happen to me today. Something great is going to happen to me today. Program that into your reticular activating system. Believe it. So when you start seeing it, you pursue it, you run to it, you move towards it, not away from it. You don't ignore it. Program it into your app. Number 2, always look on the bright side. Always look on the bright side. Hot cup. Always look on the bright side, not the negative side. People are not interested in negative people. In the worksheet, we have a link to the Monty Python song, Always Look on the Bright Side. 3, seek discomfort. Don't seek comfort, seek discomfort. Seek discomfort. It helps you nurture the presence of the Creator within you. Advice from an 80-year-old. Take charge of your attitude. Don't let someone else choose it for you. Right. That kind of goes along with our what we say on the emotional side of life, one of our 4 parts: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Emotional, we say to people, think about it this way: if you can't control your emotions, don't worry, somebody else will, and they'll probably take you out of the game. In this morning's motivational video down below, the speaker talks about our mind has now been subjugated, is now controlled by our body. Our mind does what our body wants. If we feel hungry, if we feel tired, if we feel lonely, if our body feels that, we're going to go satisfy our body. Our body is now in control. We need to take back control. Okay, so those are 4 simple things to do. Oh, advice from an 80-year-old. Take charge of your attitude. Don't let your body control you. Don't let, oh, I feel hungry, I have to change what I'm doing. Oh, I feel sad. Oh, I feel this. No, take control. Use your mind. Have 3 simple goals for today. Simple goals. Make your bed. Clean your car. Send a thank you email. Whatever. And 6 important things to get done today. For us here, we have our Wednesday morning volunteers breakfast. And today, hopefully, will be a good one. Meaning special, something great. Hopefully it'll be a great one today, but it will if we make it such. All right, let's talk about Steve Jobs for a minute. So on the Darren Hardy video this morning, little Darren Hardy thing, link down below. Darren starts by talking about what a great fan of Apple he is and Steve Jobs. Big fan. And that Steve did more to affect the world than almost anyone. He's in the top. However, Darren goes on to say, however, his management style sucked. It's not because of his management style he did Apple. It's in spite of his management style. And I agree with that, but I want to take exception to one small part. People were different back then. Most of the people, including Steve Jobs, had parents who grew up through World War II, whose parents went through the Depression. So for them, life was hard. The expectation was, it's hard. It's really hard. Nobody's going to give you anything. You have to be tough. And so Steve was riding that wave of toughness in people who absolutely would not work today. And Darren Hardy's message was, don't use him as a role model. Don't use Steve as a role model for management today. Because he was horrible, but I would say in defense of Steve, different time, different place, people were a different way. Andy Grove, very similar, except I think he had a 2x4 that he would slam down on the table. I've had people who were in the rooms talk to me about that, how he would slam the thing down on the table. He had this 2x4 to get people's attention and get them to be to defend their position, to have passion. But nobody's going to accept somebody slamming the thing down, pushing. So Steve Jobs, different time, different place, doesn't work today. President Trump could be another example of that. He grew up in a time, even more so, the child of parents who grew up through World War II and the Depression, that made it by being tough, made it by, there's a penny on the ground, we're going to fight to the death for it. Or in the movie Ferrari, same thing. Enzo Ferrari, description of race car drivers at that time, that the best drivers are the people who say, I am not going to brake into this turn, you're going to brake so I can get ahead of you. I'm not going to brake. We're both doing it because no two objects can occupy the same space at the same time. So it's either I'm going to brake or you're going to brake. And the guy who's the winner, the absolute best, is the person who said, either you brake or we both die, because I'm not braking. And the person who cares more about living, of course, will brake, and they will end up number 2. But they'll probably live. Okay, so that's where we are. We're at 12. I don't know, where are we? What is our time? The clock isn't seeming to work. 13 minutes in. Okay, we're going to call it a day. A lot of stuff to do. I think you got the message. You're here. You made it part of your routine, part of building a habit to be here every day. I can promise you, if you keep coming back, one day you're going to say, aha, it was worth it. I got something out of it today. Just go out, make something happen. Don't be afraid. If you believe the Creator's presence is within you, God is within you, you have nothing to worry about. God is not going to abandon you. The Creator is not going to abandon you. The Creator, you can consider, lives hyper-vicariously through you, experiencing what you do. So let's make the most of it. Go out there and make something happen. Do something great today. With that, see you on